Hopefully.
Yeah. Hello guys, it's Aisha Makara and the artist voice. Today I have Josh Garcia. He's from Los Angeles. He's a photographer, stand-up comedian, and great man. And now he's going to share with us who he is. Hello,
Thank you.
Josh.
Hello. How are you today?
Good. Sunny
All right.
day. Very happy.
It's a little
Happy to have
cloudy
you
outside.
here.
Thank you.
Here is sunny. We're in Miami, so in Miami it's always sunny.
Well,
Come
Los
and visit
Angeles.
us here.
Los Angeles is always sunny too. It just happens to not be today. That's all right,
Yeah, you
actually.
have a
Anyways,
fires, right? It's like a fire, like you have a period of the fires as well. One is like, how say, sky is very clouded. I don't know, very like, I don't know, white.
oh,
I remember
that
I
went
was there.
away. It went back to being blue skies.
That's
I'm not
great.
sure if the fires were out or what the situation was in that. This happens every year in California. I've grown up here my whole life. Ever since I was ever since I was a kid, this has happened every year. It catches on fire.
Exactly. Yeah.
Never
I
fails. But anyways,
I used to. I mean, I've been there 2 years ago a little bit. I mean, I live in San Francisco for like 5 months, and I remember like it's fire time, especially in Los Angeles. Like many of my friends from Burning Man said to me, like, we have a fire. As many people have died, and I've been in San Francisco in that time. And we had also actually in San Francisco a big fire. I remember like in somewhere in the Bay Area
yeah.
2 years ago. Very big fires, by the way, 2018.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, near the Bay Area.
Yeah.
Uh, that's the Bay Area is a really awesome place. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, San Francisco is cool, actually, in many ways.
Yeah, it's
Like,
totally. If I don't know if anybody's listening that's not from California, but those are like two different worlds: Los Angeles and San Francisco.
very different.
Yeah, it might as well be their own state, like different states.
It
But
is, for sure. I have different like, kind of like ideas about San Francisco and Los Angeles. I'm like, everyone in San Francisco said to me, I'm more Los Angeles type of person.
yeah.
And I said like, okay, but I like actually San Francisco. And eventually I moved here to Miami.
To Miami.
I tried Los Angeles, but I didn't like the traffic. It's like, oh my gosh, traffic is like hours.
That's
Sometimes
one
I'm
thing
just like,
that got a little better since this pandemic. The traffic's been great because no one's driving. So
yeah, now it's different time, and now it's
yeah,
good because we have a Zoom and we can talk with each other by
yes,
being at home.
right. In my sad kitchen.
Exactly. So Josh, share with us your background. What are you doing? Why you like, doing your photography, and how long you're doing your photography and stand-up comedy, because you have done like many different things in your life. And you live in all your life, as you said, in California. So you're
Yeah.
very, very creative. People from California are super creative.
Most people, I mean, a lot of people are from here, I guess, from this area. There's some truth to that. I actually started off as being a musician. I was in a semi-successful punk band for like 5 years, and then it like kind of went away. And out of nowhere, my grandfather bought me a camera. I didn't ask for one, like just as a gift. It's nice. I'm not sure to this day why he just randomly did that. And then from that point, I remember realizing how much I really, really like doing this. Like within that first week of just clicking away, uh, it's somewhat therapeutic, just like music was to me. Photography became that as well. Uh, been doing it for only 6 years now, I think. I think 6 years, yeah. And then trying to think, I started off by just photographing anything. I didn't really know what I was doing. Like just messing around with dials, and as I went on, I just wanted to know what every single function did on the camera. So I YouTubed everything, you know. Eventually, I went to school for it, which uh, I really, really learned, like understand how this works now.
That's
I'm
interesting.
trying to think. I didn't think that this would ever be like a job or a career, but then I realized being a 9 to 5 job that like when I made money doing photography, I was like, that's a lot more fun than doing this in this office. So I want to do that, and left 9 to 5 world, and here I am.
Yeah, it's more creative as well. It's like you kind of more like thinking creative in creative way. You get to like even making money in very creative way, be open and to like different possibilities for sure. It's like,
Well,
as an
Yeah,
art as well.
when I get paid for doing it, it feels like I feel actually like good, like I fulfilled some sort of sense of purpose, as opposed to old office job. It's just like I was just pushing papers around. Who cares? There was no satisfaction at the end of it. You know what I'm saying? Like when you do something creative, you get this satisfaction feeling.
Mhm.
Especially when you get to share it with people. Thank God for like Instagram, Facebook, and all those things. Uh, there's negatives and positives to it, but this is a positive for it, is that I get to share the photos like immediately. As of like in the film days, you had to wait quite a while to actually share them with people. And yeah, I don't know. That's pretty much all I got on that.
That means it's different. You editing, you like do different. It's a different steps, right? Before you're getting photography out there.
Different steps. I'm sorry. Or what do
It's
you mean?
different steps to create. Like for example, when you just take a picture, and after you choose the picture that would probably be the perfect picture somehow, you get to like kind of choose, and a lot of it work with
Yeah.
editing. I don't know. Maybe you use Photoshop. I don't know how you do your work. Maybe you just like natural.
No, I definitely use Photoshop and Lightroom, which most people do. Uh, I was just on it before you called me. I was messing around on Photoshop. I'm always on that thing. I love it. Well, first thing is like it depends if I'm taking a photo of a person, I have to figure out posing first. And usually when I look in the camera, I start from left to right. I look all the way around the frame to make sure nothing's in the way, or is there something that might take away the focus from the subject that's in the background. Sometimes I don't always get it. Like I miss it, and I just Photoshop them out. Like say a bright spot in the back or something that's drawing your attention away from the subject. So that's usually when I start shooting. I got to do it quickly too, because usually people are in a hurry. But I do look around the entire surroundings first, and then I go to the center. Then I start making sure the lights are the light meter is balanced on the camera. Uh, Light meter just tells you, I don't know, like there's like photography is like the concept's the same for every camera. You know what I mean? Like you're just balancing out light between the shutter, the ISO, and the f-stops. Those three functions. You're just trying to balance out light. That's all you're really doing, basically. The concept, anyways. So you just got to figure out. There's a little a meter that will tell you when it gets like to the center or green that okay, good, you have good exposure. However, I don't always agree with it, and I don't know where I was going with it. I'm sorry.
No, I think like each of us has a different, just like your way of doing, or like let's say photography. For me, like photography is also art. It's like you have
Yeah,
specific tricks that you kind of create your perfect picture. And I think like each photographer has their own tricks, and you have, because you like develop it by the years, and you already know what probably like makes sense for the for the background, or like I don't know. But yeah, I
yeah,
believe like as me as an artist, I also have my own like ideas how I want to create my art when someone like sharing
yeah.
something.
A lot of times, like when I was younger, I used to always walk around just before I ever had a camera. I would always be like, oh, that like I would look at things and like, wow, that'd make a great shot, like a photo wise. Like, uh, so I would always think about that stuff when I'd walk around. I just never had a camera. And then when I had a camera, I would be like, wow, that'd be a great shot. Now I could take it. And apparently, I was good at it because then I started getting offers to do like paid gigs via Instagram. That's how that started. That's when it really dawned on me, like I think I could really do this like for a living because people are asking me like offering me
Of
money.
course, you should just open that door. I think like when you like open and you're creative and you like just wanted to explore that
Yeah,
area, just go and explore. This is the
yeah,
creativity, or this is art of life somehow, when you create a color, especially like when you're taking pictures and create your own picture of each moment. It's like I think
yeah.
this is the beautiful part of that.
I used to
So
actually. Oh, sorry. Go on.
no, just continue. Yeah, I'm
Oh,
listening.
I was gonna say when I was younger, I used to actually look at photography like that's not an art form. Like I'd roll my eyes at it, but then I realized it's actually a lot harder than you think. Like to make like a good image, create an image, a good one.
Exactly, it takes
I used to
time.
I used to think how hard can that be, but it's actually a lot harder than I took it for. So I was wrong.
So I have a question for you here. What
I might have an
inspires
answer.
you? I'm sure. What inspires you to create your photography? What's like your inspirational like part? Like what's like your passion? Why you're doing it? What you're doing? With like the colors you choose, the like everything. Like what inspires you?
Well, it's not like I don't have like a person or like somebody in the photography world, anyways, that I'm like, wow, that guy inspires me. I really don't, legitimately. There are photographers that I admire, where I'm like, wow, that looks cool. Most of it comes from just because it kind of takes like it's a lot of work, and then like when I share it with people, that feeling of when people like it, like wow, like that looks amazing. That's all it takes, just for me to feel like that's kind of like my motivation, I guess, is to get like just to be appreciated, I guess, that like because there sometimes a lot of photos I post, there was a lot of effort that went into them, and that feeling of accomplishment, I guess, even though it's very minor, but that is sort of the driving force for me, and I I guess just to satisfy my own ego is just being transparent here.
That's
Although like
interesting.
not every photo I say post is great. Some of them suck. Uh, yeah, and for whatever reason, I thought they were good, and the masses did not agree.
Yeah, you never know, right? I
No,
mean, I even don't know where I'm going to with my art. So we are here just for the journey. So enjoy the journey, enjoy the ride. I say like everyone's like say like enjoy the ride while
yeah,
you're here. This is
because
what
it's very
matters.
short.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So next question. What impact do you want to create with your art, with your photography, or like with your comedy that you do? Comedies,
So which one?
stand-up comedies. Yeah, you said to me like you have done like stand-up comedies before. It's also kind of like a art, and that right now you're focusing on photography. What impact do you want to create with that?
Impact. I never really thought about that.
Now it's
Um,
time.
I,
Now it's time
I
to think
know.
about that.
I don't know. I guess I'm hoping that people react in a positive way to it. Like I guess, or I'm not really sure because I never really thought about photography in that way. Stand up, I have, but not photography. Like, I'm not really trying to make an impact. I just hope people like it.
So just for you, it's just like kind of process of doing it. You're just enjoying the process. You're not thinking about like impact. You just
Oh
enjoy the
yeah,
process of
I really, really love the
present
process.
moment. So
So
I
I think
think it's
that's where
important.
most. Sorry, there's a delay. Huh.
No, just continue. Like, sorry, I'm with you.
No,
Um,
I'm trying to figure out if there's a delay here or not. But anyways, it seems like there is, but then there isn't.
and how do you see your role in the local community or like in the art community, photography community, next 5 years from now?
I don't even think that far ahead usually about that kind of thing. Anyways, uh, I don't know. I'm not. I don't really feel like I'm a part of the community. I don't really. I don't know, like go to events or anything. Well, then again, you can't really like right now. Uh, I don't know. I just want to focus on myself. I guess I don't really think about that stuff. Uh,
So that's mean you want to develop like want to understand who you are, like with your photography or like.
oh, I mean, I hope I become more well known by that point, by 5 years. I mean, I don't mean like famous or anything, but uh, just sorry, there's a noise. I know. Uh, actually, hold on. This way, everybody's happy. I'm gonna go outside. Um, I'm sorry. What were you saying? Question.
No, I'm just thinking like who you want, like what, like you have your photography right now and you most of your time, the present life right now, you're focusing on photography, and I'm asking you what you're going to do for like next 5 years if you continue, when you continue to focusing on your photography.
Oh, I'm kind of hoping to be like
or your
in my
art. I
art.
mean, yeah.
I'm hoping by 5 years from now, I could be like in galleries, or I'll start at least within 5 years. I could start doing displaying them on galleries, or some of like the artistic ones, not the ones that I'm being paid to do. Because the ones I'm being paid to do are like family photo shoots. I enjoy doing those. Don't get me wrong, but there's times where I just want to make like creative photos just for me. And some of them I've actually sold, like prints of them via Instagram. That was really nice.
That's beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
it's a
I'm just.
different feeling.
It all came as like a surprise to me because I didn't think this photography was never a thought in my head that I wanted to be growing up. Uh, so it's just fascinating to me that this ended up. I sort of fell into it, uh, which is good because I'd rather do something creative than non-creative, which most people. That's the case for most people.
That's interesting.
Humans in general, we just want to create.
I believe
Uh,
the same.
yeah, that's why people end up unsatisfied at like difficult jobs because you're not really creating. And what's that quote? I don't remember who said this quote, but it was like most men live lives of silent desperation, and I didn't want to live that life anymore. So I
It's
went
enough.
toward. Sorry.
You say to yourself, it's enough.
Yeah, I didn't like the feeling, so I went towards the creative thing. I took a gamble. I'm still taking the gamble, so let's see what happens.
Yeah, I think like it's again, I was watching the one of the YouTube videos of Jordan Peterson.
Oh, I loved
He's
your. I just read his book, 12 Years to
yeah,
Life.
12
12
year. Yeah,
Rules.
exactly. 12 rules of life. I was reading it. Yeah, I read it as well. I
I
love it.
finished it. Yeah.
It's a very great book. And so he said, you get to choose your struggle, because without struggle, we don't have a meaning. We kind of like feel unfulfilled. So it's choose your struggle and deal with that.
Yeah,
I
because
like
no,
his book as well.
I like him a lot as a person. Like, well, I don't know him personally, but I
Yeah,
mean, I've seen many videos of him.
me too. He's very cool. Yeah, he's very like straight to the point and kind of a little bit aggressive in some moments. I think, but he says very right things.
Yeah, and I think when he comes off as aggressive, I think he's just on the defense because
Yeah.
usually someone's attacking him or trying to. Uh,
He's cool. He's cool.
yeah, but like it is true what he's saying. Like, choose your struggle. Like, no matter which way you go, you're gonna struggle, but you got to make it count. Basically,
Exactly.
was it worth it? Basically, at the end of that struggle.
Exactly. I
And
see the same. I think the same. What type of the challenges photographers or like artists struggle with right now, like nowadays? What do you think? What type of the challenges we have as an artist? Like,
well, it's definitely. I mean, the COVID thing doesn't help. Uh, well, it depends. Like, where, because that's kind of vague. Like every art form might have its own separate challenges, but well, I guess it's not really vague. I don't know. I would say just the whole COVID-19 thing and the which affects the economy, which will affect artists, and it's down the line. It affects everybody,
yeah,
but especially artistic things usually go on hold when there's something like when economies are crashing because it's not necessary. You know what I mean? Like it's not a necessity, so it can be pushed to the wayside. That's
yeah,
the financial part of it, anyways. Uh, as far as struggle, I'm not really sure. I guess it's all up to the individual. That's circumstantial, I guess.
I
I
think
would say,
so.
from my perspective, anyways.
Do you have any advice to the photographer who just started their career, who just like throw themselves to this field and then know where to go or where to start, or like they just confused or lost, and they what would you say to them, or like what type of the advice would you give to them, want you give to them?
Well, first of all, this is the first thing I always tell people like who ask me questions: stop shooting on auto and only shoot on manual. Uh, I always get response sometimes like, "But it's hard on manual." That's the point. Uh, when you have your camera on auto, you don't learn anything because the camera's doing everything for you. So that's my first advice: is just keep shooting on manual mode. mess with dials as much as possible. YouTube videos, it's actually very helpful uh, to understand the concepts of it. Once you get the concept down, it becomes a little easier, like of bouncing out light. My professor one time said this, like we're like photographers are like artists that paint with light, and it was interesting when he said that because that's the way I look at it now. Like, huh, like we're basically painting with light, but the cameras,
That's true.
yeah, like in like what controls, like say you want a darker light, obviously you do all that with the camera. There's a lot taken into consideration though, the time of day, lights, and etc. But I would suggest messing with the camera as much as possible. Same thing with stand up, by the way. I get asked more about stand up than I do photography when it comes to that. Uh, the advice I give at stand up is just you got to keep going on stage as many times as possible. And that's the same thing with photography. Just keep messing with the thing constantly, using it.
Yeah.
It's a tool. You got to learn how to use it. And the more you mess with it, the better. With anything,
Yeah.
the more you do it, the better you're going to become eventually.
Practice.
Unless you're really dumb, then I guess you're just not going to figure it out. I had to throw that in there.
That's funny. Thank you,
Is it-
Josh. Thank you,
Thank
Josh, for
you.
your time. It was great to see you again. And good luck with your photography. And
Thank you.
continue to kick ass and believe in yourself. Continue to struggle what you believe in.
Yes.
And yeah, stay connected. Be with
Yes.
us.
Thank you.
Thank
Hopefully, I
you.
can see you in person again.